everybody, Dan here, welcome to my YouTube channel. I said the other week that autumn was here and summer was over, but looking around it seems like summer is back again. So I'm out on the bike, out on the Stooge today. If you want to know more about this bike then you can see it in one of my other videos. But the main purpose of today's ride is to test out my new camera fully. I had a little go on it the other day. I mentioned in a previous video that I was picking it up. It's an Insta 360. It's finally arrived. I used it on a commute to work the other day and I put some of that footage in here as well. But yeah, today is to give it a proper test. I'm going to try it on the handlebars, going to try it on the helmet, and going to try it on the chest cam. Now the thing to remember with this camera is that everything you see is basically from a fixed location. So that could be on the handlebars or on the helmet. The camera points in one direction and it rotates. You rotate the image afterwards in the software. So the camera doesn't move, but you can choose which angle you want out of the 360-degree rotation to be in your video. And it does some other stuff as well. So it's a 4K camera. I think when it crops down the image, it's probably more like 1080. But it's got a 24 megapixel camera, so you can take some pretty good still images as well. So I might take a few of those as well and put those on so you can see. But yeah, primarily it shoots in all directions all the time, and you choose afterwards where you want it to look, and it's got some other cool little tricks as well. So the camera itself cost £200 or £180. I think it retails at about £300 online, but it's mass produced in China. They're all over the market, and I bought it through eBay from a seller in Hong Kong, and it cost me about £180. And then on top of that, because I have an Android phone, I had to buy an Android adapter, which was another 20, and then I've got this selfie stick, which is what I'm using now, which is a special one that the software makes disappear. So it looks as if the camera's floating in the air, and it's not in any of the shots, so I'm led to believe, but we'll see after this, I guess. So yeah, all in, round about 200-ish. I've seen a few reviews online. I think people have been sent cameras, so which you know is fine. This I want to make clear I bought with my own money, so you know what I say is kind of what I feel about it. I'm not being pressured into saying anything because I've got it for free or anything like that. So right now I'm testing it with the selfie stick. Move the selfie stick around. You can put it higher and lower, obviously. And then I'm going to do some other tests riding around. So it does this thing called, there are a couple of different things that it does. So the image stabilization is called, they call it flow state, but it's basically stabilization, the same as a gyro on a lot of other sort of cameras. It's a bit shorter, I think. So it's the same as quite a few other cameras. So I think what it really does is it kind of crops the image and to take the shakiness out of it, a bit like the newer GoPros. So it'll be interesting to see what that's like on the chest cam, and I'm going to put some footage in there later on for you to see. I'm on the Stooge today primarily because it's got no suspension, and it's a little bit easier to ride on the flatter ground, but also it's nice and bumpy, so we can really test it out and see how it deals with all the bumps and the shaking about, and see how the camera copes with it. So I'm going to test out some other riding now. So it also has in the software, it has, because you can point and shoot where you want after, you can put the camera in a static location and then film panning shots as you cycle past or as you walk past, and the camera itself will fix on an object, so you can track it within the phone app itself. So the way it works is that you film primarily, you then use the app to choose where you want to look or where you want the object to track, and then the image kind of, or the film kind of records again over what you've recorded, but looking in the image direction that you want. Then you export it from your phone, then you put it onto your laptop, and then I'll edit it there into a normal video, the same as I do with footage from other cameras. So we're going to see how that works. So I haven't brought a tripod with me, so I'm going to have to take my helmet off and stick it on the ground, and then ride around it just for a short bit, just to see how it deals with the tracking feature. So now riding around the camera, and it's static on my bike lid. You can see how that is. So I'm now riding along with the camera on my head. Look like a bit of a Teletubby really, but should be kind of cool to see how these shots turn out. The beauty of this is you don't really have to worry where you're looking, because you can just pick that up after. So if your head goes down or to the side, or you know, sometimes if you go on a steep downhill, the chest mount can be stuck on the handlebars and pointing down rather than a head on the trail. This, you can choose your shot afterwards. So we're going to see how this turns out. So the other couple of things we're going to test out today is the chest cam, which I'm going to go to in a bit when I put the harness on and stuff. And the idea of that is hopefully it can take away the need of a gimbal, which is quite a brave kind of statement. I've got a gimbal and it gets a bit annoying because it's quite heavy and it gets a bit floppy and the battery runs out. So the newer breed of cameras hopefully can take away this kind of thing. So we're going to give that a go in a little while. But the last thing, or the second to last thing I'm going to try, excluding the chest cam, is the bullet mode. So this is just a gimmicky feature which, you know, could describe this camera altogether really. The idea being that you swing it around your head and it takes a really slow-mo shot, and you kind of get a funky kind of thing, a bit like the Matrix. So I'm going to give that a go now and you can see that as well. So I've just turned into the woods now. This is the chest mount. I came through here a couple of videos ago without a gimbal, so I've chosen this track to see how this compares. So this phone also, as I said, has the app, which is primarily how you edit. But you can also control the camera from that as well. Start, stop, timer, choose all the different modes. Be interesting to see how it copes with the dappled light through here as well. Squirrel there. So the camera's static on my chest, but I can pan left and right as and where I want. Doggy. Another dog. Trail here is Gully Run that I rode the other week. So that was on the boss nut. But I thought it would be a good test for this camera on the handlebars on the rigid bike. Nice and bumpy, relatively fast. Have to believe how different it feels without suspension. First time I've ridden it without. So loose you kind of neglect just how good suspension is and what that does to soaking up the ground as well in terms of grip. No! Right. Got in there. This is another loose downhill bridleway coming up. Again, camera on the handlebars. Got 360 view, but it's a shame you haven't got smell-o-vision. Eucalyptus smell down here is incredible. Absolutely love it. The reason I'm talking so much nonsense as well is because I want to test out the audio, especially with the wind noise. So I can hear it in my ears right now. So I'd like to know if it comes out on the camera. I've got no wind jammer on the camera, just completely set up in the open. Then all the panning shots are just done afterwards. The only movement is when the bars move. Bring down. Shaking, so just probably coming through on the camera. So that's the last bit of filming I'm going to do on the ride. I'm going to head back home, edit the footage, and then what I'll do is a little summary at the end, just to give you my thoughts, how easy it was to process the video, any other bits and pieces I can think of. So I'm going to switch the camera off now, carry on with my ride, because it's a nice evening and still got a couple of hours of free time. So I'm back at home now, and I've started looking through the footage from the camera, and it's a little bit mixed. So some of the shots are really good, I think. The chest mount is really good, and the image stabilization is good, and just some of the quirky little features, you know, being able to look around and see what's going on around, I think that's quite a good feature as well. The bar mount is really noisy, as you'll see in the video, as you've already seen if you haven't turned it off already. There's a lot of noise that comes up through the grounds. I guess I could have muted the audio, but I wanted to leave it in for just to be a bit more informative. But aside from that, I think it's not a bad camera. My biggest problem, and the reason why I'm filming this now on the camera on my laptop rather than carrying on with the Insta360, is the processing time to actually produce the videos. I'm used to just taking an SD card out of a camera, or taking a file off my phone and just sticking it in the laptop. But with the Insta360, you have to process every single camera image and every single video, and it takes ages. So to give you an example, for a 4 or 5 minute video, so in the start of this, when I was speaking for 4 to 5 minutes, that took the best part of an hour for my phone to process it. And in all, to process all the footage that you've seen in here has probably taken 3-4 hours to process. So, you know, I've had to play it back. I've then had to do my after filming, my moving around of the phone to get the image in the direction that I wanted, and then you have to process it. Then I've had to take it off and put it in the laptop. So it does add an element of fuss and just complexity, really. So I like the camera, I like the images. I think it's more suited to people that do short edits or Instagram or Facebook and just want to capture a moment or a few seconds of footage. I think for this kind of long sort of vlogging and long films, I think a traditional action camera is still better, just to reduce that processing time. So I'm happy with my SJ cams. I think I'm going to continue to use them on the chest mounts and on other mounts. I will use this 360 camera as well, but it's going to be for more additional material or for short edits or things I want to put on Instagram. I'll be really interested to see how the new GoPro Hero 7 compares, because the image stabilization in that is supposed to be really good, and that could be something that really does replace a gimbal on the chest mount. That being said, the Insta360, I think where it you know really does well is on the chest mount. With the image stabilization, I think it's a good feature, and I will be using that a little bit more in future, but it's not going to be for the longer edits. So thank you for watching this video. I know it's been a long one, and I know in places it has been a bit boring, but I wanted to just include as much as I could so that people could make an informed choice if they are going out to buy one of these, and know that I'm honest in my review and that I've not tried to hide any dodgy footage or anything. I think you'll see from the images there are some visible stitching lines. You know, sometimes the sound is a bit off, but I've left that in on purpose just so people can make an informed choice. So if you've got any questions at all about the camera, or just about biking in general, or you just want to have a chat and, you know, comment, feel free to add something in the comments and I'll get back to you. Thank you for watching. Hit the like button if you've liked this video, and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.